So Elizabeth and Sanjay, CNN has just learned that an American freelance cameraman working for NBC News with Dr. Nancy Snyderman in Liberia has tested positive for Ebola. They were actually in the village in Liberia where Thomas Duncan lived. A part of their report tonight. Watch.
Jimenez Grubaya was the taxi driver who picked up Duncan, the young woman named Natalie, her father and brother.
You knew you were picking up a sick, pregnant girl, but no idea at all that she was sick with Ebola.
No idea at all.
So they're very close there. Elizabeth, do we know the latest on this cameraman?
Don, we know that the cameraman was flown back by NBC to the United States. NBC has said that they want this photographer to get the best possible care.
You were just in Liberia with camera crews. What sort of precautions did you take while covering the outbreak, Elizabeth?
You know, really, it's all about physical space and distance. And so you try to, keep as much space as you can between yourself and other people. You don't shake hands with people. You're just sort of very aware of not touching other people as much as you possibly can. And certainly, of course, if we saw Ebola patients, as we did on our trip, you keep a lot of distance. So it really is a lot about distance and also about bleaching. And I mean, my hands have never been so clean. Washing your hands constantly, bleaching the bottom of your boots, washing things off, that's also very, very important.
Okay, I want to bring Sanjay in here and talk more about this because, Sanjay, you have covered Ebola in Africa. Who's at risk here? It's really not just a cameraman. It is everyone he came in contact with. Is that correct?
Well, what's interesting is that on Tuesday he started working for NBC. Wednesday is when he developed this fever and got sick. So it's too soon to have been as a result of the work that he was doing on Tuesday. We know that he's been there for 3 years doing projects. So at some point he must have had some sort of exposure. But to your point, yeah, I mean, people who come in contact with someone who has Ebola, who is sick with Ebola, or attend public funerals, another common way that people are getting Ebola, they're the ones that are going to be most at risk. That's been pretty well documented. What exactly his exposure was, when it was, we don't know that yet, but almost assuredly it was one of those two ways, Don.
And as we understand, there's going to be a self-quarantine here, and Sanjay, you can talk a little bit more about that, and they're going to come back here to the United States the same way the first patients came back via private jet, I would imagine.
Yeah, that's what I'm hearing as well. My understanding is so that when he found that he had a fever, he quarantined himself. He recognized that this could be Ebola. He got a test. It took about 12 hours for that test to come back, and it came back positive. But then the rest of the team, Dr. Snyderman, Nancy Snyderman, and her crewmates, everyone decided to go ahead and put themselves in quarantine as well because they've had contact with him. And they're all going to be flown back to the United States. We believe they're going to be flown back here to Atlanta. As you know, Don, the Emory University Hospital over here is one of the hospitals that is, equipped to take care of patients with Ebola.